What's good, everybody? It is Thursday, December 1st, 2022. This is your daily sports betting brand of record. We are powered, as always, by the almighty SportsLine, the best value in all of sports betting, and it is not close. Now, we talk about it all the time. There's going to be good days, and there's going to be bad days when you do the 7 days a week. Thank goodness. I hit my money line parlay last night late to save a little bit, but money management, this day doesn't even hurt you at all. Now, we've got picks. This is how volatile this has been for everybody. You see it all over social media. We have our soccer cappers that are on each side of the games this morning. That's how nuts it has been. Now, it's a busy, busy day at the brand. You know when Thursdays gets here. We're starting right here, right now. Now, later today, 3 p.m. Eastern time on Twitter Spaces. The prop shop is open. Me and Prop Stars, any prop question you want for 30 or 45 minutes, we sit there and take live calls from you. Then, of course, Early Edge and 5 at 4 p.m. Eastern time. Then tonight, Week 13 starts with Early Edge Live, the Bills and the Patriots, the AFC East, and I am here for it. So what do we need when we need a bounce back Thursday after a rough day at the brand? Well, I can only imagine one face and another face and another face. And then it looks a little bit like this. And he's back, ladies and gentlemen. He's been out of the country. We've missed him. He is our OG. And it's kind of ironic, Maestro, that you'd come back today because we haven't missed a day since December of 2020. And me and you were there day one. Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. Great to be back. And it's just funny looking at the schedule. You have a standalone game, a primetime game on national TV. It's the Mavericks and the Pistons, the only NBA game on the slate tonight. Just kind of strange. But of course, I'm mainly interested in Bills Patriots, which we'll get to in a minute.
That is all we care about. And the World Cup as well. Next, live from just south of London, England. It has been chaos. Guru, absolute chaos in the World Cup. Good afternoon.
Good morning to you, Coach. It has certainly been chaos. There have been lots of wild results at this World Cup. But I was just thinking, before the tournament began, RJ White, the stoic one, asked us all to compile our brackets of how we thought the World Cup would pan out. Mm-hmm. And 8 teams have qualified so far for the round of 16. And I've got 7 out of 8. The only one I didn't get was Mexico. I had Mexico going through instead of Poland. They finished level on points, and Poland scored 1 extra goal. That's how close they scraped through at Mexico to ruin my perfect bracket. But yeah, in terms of the actual top teams going through, they're getting the job done. They're just going about it in a kind of roundabout fashion.
Yeah. Well, we talked about it on the preview show also about all the tiebreakers, didn't I? And I said they could come into play. They need to think about that. At one point yesterday, it was yellow cards. That was the tiebreaker at one point.
And that's why Mexico had to push up and try and score another goal. And that's why Saudi Arabia got that late goal that made it 1. But otherwise, it would have been yellow cards, which was just ludicrous. I feel really sorry for Mexico.
I know. You got to pay attention. As you were speaking, Morocco, the speculator is on Morocco minus a quarter goal. They scored in less than 5 minutes live here on the Early Edge. The other game is still 0-0. And we do all of that before we even get to Alabama. I know after yesterday, you're going to bring me something very special today in just a couple of minutes. I can't wait. Good morning.
Good morning. Late brag for the Iron Bowl win, but most important one, I guess, for us this season. So
it's never a late brag. You can brag 365 days a year. Are you kidding me? All right, let's get into it. Storylines that could affect the betting lines today, and it's all about Thursday Night Football. Now, a few weeks ago, Maestro, the Bills, the number 1 seed, Josh Allen, the MVP. All of that has changed. They're now in it in their own division. Start us off.
Really fascinating to see this line, which opened at 5.5 or 6. You knew 6 was not going to hold, but it has just come steadily down. I posted it on the site at Bills -4, thinking I was not going to get a better number. It's down to 3.5. Let's look at why. I mean, the Bills have not covered 5 straight. In that span, Josh Allen, 7 interceptions against 6 touchdowns, making the mistakes in the red zone. Von Miller is out. And you have a Patriots defense that's number 1 in EPA that is playing amazing. So that is why everyone is piling on the Patriots. But I'm going to give you a different angle coming up.
Oh, quite the tease from the Maestro today. Oh, I can't wait for Early Edge Live tonight. Now, there are 2 games later today, Guru, and I'm looking at my notes. It's Costa Rica and one of the powerhouses, historically, Germany. And on the other side, what I think will be the game of the day, Japan and Spain. Enlighten me.
Yes, Coach. Group E of the World Cup, that is, and it is on a knife edge as we approach the final round of games. Spain lead the way on 4 points. Then you have Japan and Costa Rica on 3 points apiece. Germany, who are one of the heavyweights in that group, they've only got 1 point so far. However, all 4 of those teams could conceivably qualify depending on today's results. As you mentioned, we have Spain taking on Japan and Costa Rica up against Germany. So Germany really need to beat Costa Rica and hope that the other game goes in their favour. They're staring down the barrel of a humiliating early exit. Can they pull off a great escape from Group B? It's going to be very tight, going to be very tense, and a very exciting day in the World Cup. And I'll be breaking down some games with you later.
All I hear is humiliating. All I hear is, oh, great. I just love when you give me a story. I love when you give me a take. Now, Allie, there are teams that get lost sometimes in the NFL world, in the World Cup world, but we can't lose track because at the pay window, they don't care what the tickets say. Give me some teams that are winning, some teams that are not. You're up.
Yep. So winning teams start off. Kraken, obviously, they're leading everyone with 6 wins in a row, and they're playing the Caps tonight. So you might be able to get some good value there. The Devils, they're back on a win streak. They couldn't get to 14, but they're winning 3 in a row now, playing the Preds tonight. And then the Oilers, 3-game win streak, and they're playing the Wild. And then looking at the losing teams, the Panthers are on a 3-game losing streak, playing the Canucks. And then the Ducks, 3-game losing streak against the Stars. Definitely just something to look out for, especially when they're early. If you can get into a good 9-10 game win or loss streak that you're playing or fading the team, just pay attention for that.
There you go. 2 great words. Pay attention. Just do a little bit of work. We'll do a lot of it for you, but just do a little bit of work. You can see teams that are trending, just like I did last night with the Jazz and the Suns. Trending. Doesn't always hit. We know that, but it helps a bunch. All right. You know my crew is very, very expensive, so we got to pay those pesky little bills. Let's hear from one of our incredible partners. And we are back. For those watching on YouTube, welcome. Those listening on Apple or Spotify, this is The Early Edge, and we've got a full slate of sports today. So where do I start? No place for SportsLine today. Maybe on Early Edge in 5 at 4 p.m. Eastern time. But I want a boost. I feel like a boost. So, Allie, I'm going to put you right in that first hot seat today. But I need just one pick so far, and then I've got a little something special. Start us off.
Yep. So today I'm going to go with the Wild money line. So I know I just said the Oilers are on that 3-game win streak, but I really do think that's going to end tonight. They're starting Jack Campbell, and he's really been struggling. I mean, he has a 4.04 GAA, but thanks to the Oilers offense, he still managed to be 7-5. But Fleury, he's 7-5-1, and he has a way better 2.51 GAA. I will say that he has been a little bit worse at home there, but I think at his worst, he's going to be probably on the same level as Campbell. But I think the Wild get the win tonight. They've won 6 straight against the Oilers dating back to 2019, so I think they make it to 7.
Goaltenders make all the difference in the world, and so does the crew. Now, many of us play at Caesar Sportsbook and Casino, but if you follow on social media, you see this face all the time. And when you see that face with Caesars, you know something good could be coming. So after yesterday, we task you, Allie, give me a boost. Give me something the people at home can wrap their head around and also have some fun. Give it to me.
Yep. So I actually kind of needed some help with this one. So I asked some people at SportsLine to help me out. So you have some picks from Coach, Buckets, AB, M squared, and then my pick in there. So if you look over at the graphic, you have Buckets, Germany win to 0. Coach's picks, Spain and Japan, both teams to score. AB's, Bills, 24 points. And then mine is the Predators win, and we've boosted that from plus 2950 to plus 3300. So I think that we get a good little chance with that tonight.
The crew coming together for Allie at Caesars and SportsLine. It just warms my heart to hear you say M squared, to hear you say Buckets, to have it come out of your mouth is amazing. All right, so play that boost. If you play at Caesar Sportsbook Casino, if you don't, open an account, and plus 3,300, I'll take it. I know mine's going to hit. Buckets, I'm not so sure. All right, Now, Allie, thank you very much. Well, we know who's going to go next. Now, Guru. Your face is too much. Now, you already talked about it. 2 big games coming up today. Both games start at exactly the same time. And if we get today, Guru, what we got yesterday, coming down literally to the wire, I am here for it. But how are we playing these games? You're up.
It's going to be really tense, Coach. I did delve into the Germany-Costa Rica game, and I just couldn't find any appealing angles on it. I think they're minus 1,000 to win it, Germany. Let's give them a huge handicap if you want to get any value on that one. So I've left that one alone, and I've just gone straight into the Spain versus Japan game. Spain, they were tremendous in their opener when they thrashed Costa Rica 7-0. That really established them as the leading contender for World Cup glory. However, they could only draw 1-1 with Germany in their second game. So they do need a result against Japan today to ensure safe passage to the knockout stage of this competition. As always, Spain will dominate possession in this game. I think they should just have too much quality for the Japanese side to handle, Coach. Japan, they secured that shock 2-1 win against Germany in their first game. That was exhilarating, smash and grab stuff for Japan. They sat back, they soaked up pressure, and they just hit Germany twice on the counter-attack. Bang, bang, 2-1. All they needed to do was beat a disconsolate Costa Rica team 1-0, bearing in mind that Costa Rica had just lost 7-0 to Spain. They couldn't do it. They slumped to a 1-0 defeat. They're now the clear underdogs against Spain. They're going to get to revert back to their preferred counter-punching style in this game. I just don't think they're going to have enough quality. Spain are too good for me, so I've given Spain a minus 1.25 handicap. That means you get a full payout if they win by 2 or more goals, and you only lose half of your stake, half of your bet amount if they win by a single goal. I'm also going for striker Alvaro Morata to score in that game. Got odds at plus 130. He was left out of the starting 11 in that game against Costa Rica after he reportedly caught a cold from the hotel air conditioning in Qatar. Ridiculous story, but yeah, he came off the bench anyway to score the 7th goal of the game. He was a substitute again when they faced Germany in their second match, and once again he came off the bench to score. I think it's time for Luis Enrique to revert him to the starting 11 for this game. He's the only real traditional striker within the Spain squad, and he's in great form. I think he's going to get plenty of chances against Japan, and the odds on him scoring look really appealing. So I've gone for that as well. Probably a half unit on that one. And then I'm just also looking at a game tomorrow between Ghana and Uruguay. Once again, this is one of the early games, so the early edge will already be underway by the time this one starts. So just wanted to give it out now. I like both teams to score in this one, as the graphic shows. Ghana have been the most entertaining team of the tournament so far. We saw them lose 3-2 to Portugal in their opener, and they then beat Costa Rica 3-2 in their second game. Defence is really leaky, but they look terrific in attack. Ajax playmaker Mohamed Kudus is leading the charge. Uruguay have not scored at this tournament yet. It was 0-0 against South Korea, and they lost 2-0 to Portugal. But that's strange when you consider the wealth of firepower within their squad. Darwin Nunez, Luis Suarez, Edinson Cavani, they're terrific in attack. I think they should find a way to breach this leaky Ghana defence, but it's a must-win game for both teams. I think they're also liable to concede. So both teams to score looks really appealing, and I'm going for that in the opening game tomorrow.
It drove me nuts the other day during the Ghana game, Guru. And they, right after both teams scored, they said, the last 9 games, and I'm like, why didn't we play that? Why didn't we play that? But we're playing it tomorrow. Ghana, you said leaky defense. Now, as you were giving out your 3 amazing takes, how about live Croatia? They've got a penalty kick upcoming, a chance to go up 1-0 on Belgium in the 15th minute. Both games starting out on fire this morning at the World Cup.
I'm on Croatia for that one. I'm thinking Croatia get the job done. So
okay. So is Buckets. Buckets gave that out on Twitter. So you guys are of the same mind so far. Simpatico, which I don't even think that's the right word, but that's what I use, and I like it. All right, Maestro, we've missed you. We know you had a very important trip, but you are back and you are laser focused on Thursday night football. So the Maestro seat is now back where it should be. You're up, sir.
Well, Allie gave out a boost and Martin gave out 3 plays, so I got to come with 3 plays today. And I'm on those Buffalo Bills. I'm going to lay the points, lay the 3.5 right now. Josh Allen faced this team twice at the end of last season. He threw 8 touchdowns. He had no interceptions, and he ran for 130 yards. They did not punt in the playoff game, 47-17. They also scored 33 in the previous matchup. And this is the kryptonite for this Patriots defense. As good as they are, they can't handle the mobile quarterbacks. We saw what Justin Fields did. We saw what Lamar Jackson did. So I think this is a big game for Josh Allen and the Bills, and they cover. And I should note, even though people make a big deal, and rightfully so, that there's no Von Miller, they get Greg Rousseau back. They get A.J. Epinesa back. Those are 2 defensive linemen that can help make up for Von Miller's absence. I think, that was a nice performance by Mac Jones against a very bad Minnesota defense. This is another level when you talk about the Bills defense, which is getting healthier with Tre'Davious White. Aside from Von Miller, they are getting healthier. I'm going to lay the points with the Bills. Correlated to that, Josh Allen to go over 42.5 rushing yards. Shattered it last week. He's gone over this in 9 of the 10 road games, in 4 of his last 5 games. And basically the game that he didn't was that Tennessee blowout when they won 41-7, when he doesn't need to run. In a competitive game like this, he needs to run. And we've seen the Patriots not be able to handle the mobile quarterback. So Josh Allen over 42.5. And on the other side, Ramondre Stevenson over 35.5 receiving yards. This guy is blowing up as a receiver, 76 against the Vikings. He's gone over this 4 of his last 5 and shattered it. The only game he didn't was that Colts game where they won 26-3, where they didn't have to do anything. But he has 38 targets over his last 5 games. That's 7.6 targets per game. We know there's no Damian Harris. This guy's going to be on the field, 90% of the snaps, something like that. They could be playing from behind. I hope they're playing from behind, and that would only help us cash this prop.
Timothy says, Larry, it's playoff revenge. Pats are going to win this one. Timothy. Sounds like Timothy wants to step up. By the way, interesting developments. There was a penalty. However, there was offsides prior to the penalty. So no penalty kick for Croatia. Sorry, Martin. So it remains 0-0, and they play on. All right, grab your paper. Grab your pencil. Here is a recap courtesy of Jake the Snake on the 1s and the 2s. The Maestro, great to have him back. He's on the Bills tonight, -3.5. Then Ramondre Stevenson, you heard all the nuggets. This cashes almost every single time. Let's go over 35.5 receiving yards, -110. Then Josh Allen using his legs. By the way, Maestro, what would you play this up to?
I'd say 44.5.
44.5 is our cutoff. Then the Gurus on Spain, or Sapin, as we call it sometimes, -1.25. It's an interesting country. So they got to win by 2 to win your full bet. If they win by 1, you only lose half of your bet. Then Morata to score +130. Then Ghana. They've literally allowed goals in like 10 straight games, and they've scored in like 10 straight games. It's crazy. Uruguay, both teams to score. Just root for goals. That's what we're going to do. And then Alabama. She's on the wild money line, -140. And do not forget about that Caesar Sportsbook boost. We've got it for everybody. The entire crew put in their picks. There you have Germany win to 0. Spain and Japan for me, both to score. Bills go north of 24. Preds to win. Arizona covers. Oh, that's going to be a fun one. It's going to be a fun one. And again, reminder, it's a very busy day at the brand. So follow all of my cappers on social media. They're always dropping knowledge there as well. But with that being said, what a good start to the morning. There's only one thing left to do, and I believe you all know what that is. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these tickets straight to the pay window. For my entire crew, love them all. Allie, Guru, Maestro, Jake the Snake on the 1s and the 2s. I am the coach. Tell all your friends you want to get your day started off right, laugh a little bit, learn a little bit, but do it all together right here at the Early Edge. Good luck.